Good morning or good afternoon, wherever you may be, or good evening or good night. This is Jen at Jen's Arty Inclinations, a place to create, share and play.
Hello. I am back with the PPG Choose 6 Challenge. We're in week 7 now, and these are the prompts. I'm just going with what Lynn chose again. Gesso, lace or ribbon, library card, postcard, domestic animal, and angel. So I decided that with my gesso, I would colour it, and I just used some oxide ink. The little blue one there, I used some little ink drops as well. So I use that. As you can see, it gives it a bit of a weathered look, a bit of a grunge look. That's the difference. So I started out by just lightly doing some edges, and I did actually go over the whole thing after because I don't know, it just seemed to feel like it looked better. But I thought I'd still show you this because you can see how just lightly touching that over, it really grunges up any piece that you have. So it's, okay that that's still white. If you don't like the white look, you can do something to just take the edge off, but see the difference between the two, of course. And I also did the same treatment on the index card, and I let the back of that get a bit messy as well. So you can see the difference in those two. Now I have inked around all the edges because it took me a little bit of working through my brain to work out how this was, but I did get there, thankfully. All right, there's my family playing the drums and stuff outside, so hopefully that won't show up. But have a look at this postcard. On the bottom, that's actually a handwritten note. Very hard to see here, hard to get the focus on it. But it's a note that someone's handwritten in 1905, which I think is just lovely. It's an actual church, so it does mean that it goes with that theme of the angel. I love that patina on the back of it. I think it is just gorgeous. And what I'm doing is I'm using this little library card, which is actually just a digital. I've shown you the clean back on it there. It's actually just a digital that I've cut down and I've made into a little pocket, and it'll have this little journal card in it, which is that index card that I showed you that I folded in 3. Now, next up, I get to use one of my beautiful old stamps that came from a deceased estate of a retired teacher. And it was a whole box of little drawers full of stamps that was given to a friend of mine. And then, knowing that I did all this crafting, she handed them on to me. Just so beautiful. I just can't imagine all the hands that these have been put on, or pieces of work. It's just lovely. Just gives me a good feeling. Anyway, here I am deciding that actually that's just way too clean, and I don't do clean work, so I've thrown some more gesso over it, and then I just scraped it quite a bit so that it still was quite transparent and I could still actually see the signatures. It's hard to pick up here, I understand, but you can still see them. And I love the fact also that this is a library card for Harley Davidson, and of course Harley Davidson motorcycles, their badges have those, oh, hello car going past the window, their badges have those wings on them that are like angels' wings. So yeah, lots of angel coming into this theme, even though I don't use angels. Interesting how when you first start something you think, oh, I can't do that, and then once you get stuck in, you just come up with so many more ideas, which is one of the reasons I love challenges. Come and join us. Come and join the Facebook group if you haven't already, Playing with Paper and Glue Facebook group. Make sure you check out Lynn has her challenge up already on her YouTube page, Playing with Paper and Glue. And also check out our lovely Kylie, Kylie's Card Craft. She is beautifully talented, so professional, so go and check out her video as well. Both their channels are linked. I call them my sister channel. So you'll find them easily in the description below. Anyway, I decided I'd actually stick down this pocket with double-sided tape. I'd gotten so messy from the gesso, I think I just thought I'd do something that was a little less messy. Anywho, stuck that down, and then, just added a few little touches. I inked the edges, and this, by the way, folks, This is my domestic animal. Okay, so it is a bird, but it's still part of the animal kingdom. And look at that. I didn't measure my pocket properly. You know how I don't measure anything? This is why you should measure, because my pocket ended up being too small and I had to lose the third panel of my little card. But that's okay. It still is a lovely, spacious little journaling spot that's in there. So look, it's all good. It's all good. Nothing to see here. And as I said, the bird is my domestic animal. So that's fun. And from that beautiful box of stamps that I was given, there was also one with an old-fashioned looking nurse, and I thought that has to be one of our modern angels, don't you think? Nurses who are having to look after so many of us in, this era. I felt like, well, if we're going to include angels, we better include a nurse. And hopefully my auntie approves of that because, she's a retired nurse. And this, by the way, that is my ribbon. Now, on the left there is a paper ribbon, so that's something else you could use. I ended up just using the ribbon. It's a hand-stamped ribbon that I actually purchased off Etsy. So it's a beautifully hand-stamped long ribbon with lovely frayed edges. And then I've put in a piece of coffee-dyed paper, which also has some ink splatters over it, and that goes with the opposite page. And then I stamped all the way up that with leaves. And I don't know, I just like the look. There's no reason. I was about to try and give you, a highly important reason. But actually, I just like the look. So isn't that half the fun of creating? Just doing things that we enjoy the look of, and you keep playing and you keep adding, and then you think you've done too much and you've wrecked it, and then you do a bit more and then suddenly you've saved it. It's all just a wonderful adventure. That's my theory. All right, I'm throwing stamps around everywhere there, and being the clear stamp, I just managed to fill that little piece in on the bottom. And all I did here was I made it into a belly band. So I add a little bit more stamping because I didn't quite like how light the angel came out. And I decided that I'd just add the top. So I'm just inking just the top of the nurse stamp. I thought she might be nice in there as well. And then while I was on a roll, I decided, well, this needs someone who looks like a mum as well, because mums are also angels. And that may be me talking about trying to give myself a rap because I'm a mum. But hey, we're awesome. And then I added another nice little piece of lace just to finish off the back of that journal card as well. So folks, that's the PPG Choose 6 challenge. And we've got in here all of the prompts. There's my little pocket, and look, it looks a little bit stiff, but it did actually end up fitting in there nicely, so that was good. I love how vintage this one turned out, and being able to use a genuine vintage postcard that's over 100 years old, that was so special. I really enjoyed that, and I loved honouring it again. So, I collect postcards, and it's lovely having different ways to display them. Or somebody who gets this actually has the indication there in the book of when the postcard came from. So all that was left to do was just to stick down my belly band. I decided to do it slightly off-centre to the left, just to add a little bit of interest, help with a little bit of the composition. And there you go, folks. That is what I came up with for this challenge. So there's my little journaling spot. And as you can see, gesso on that and on the postcard. And then we've got the lace or ribbon at the bottom. Obviously, we're on a postcard. So, we've got the angels there in all the different forms. As I said, the lace on the belly band as well. And the domestic animal, who's the little birdie in the cage with the other little birdie looking on. I'd love it if you could leave me a comment below. Hit the like button if you enjoyed what you saw today. And of course, please subscribe if you haven't already. I will see you next time. And in the meantime, keep creating. Enjoy!